Hi, welcome to BigFoot KnitCast. This is the first episode in many, many months. I am Sheila, your host, I guess. I'm the hostess with the mostest. And I also run and dye Bigfoot fibers. So not actual big feet or Sasquatch or Yeti, but if you've never heard the story of why we're Bigfoot fibers, I'll try to share that at the end. That way, if you've heard it already, you don't have to listen to that all again. All of my kiddos are busy making mini weapons of mass destruction. That's mini as in tiny weapons of mass destruction, because the youngest at home are 14 and down, and out of the 5 of them, 4 of them are boys. So our house has lots of flying Legos right now, but it keeps them busy and it keeps their minds active. So it's after school and they have to have something to do while Mom is trying to film this podcast that's been waiting for weeks and weeks now. I'm also flying without notes, and usually I try to make sure that I have notes, and I just gave up because it's just not going to happen. So if I get interrupted, I'll just fade it out and come back in and it'll be great. Okay, so I am trying out this new ring light that I have, and I think it's pretty awesome, but when I get up close, you can see that ring and it's distracting to me. So if I look weird every now and then, like I'm, staring in the mirror or whatever, it is kind of a weird thing to podcast or to vlog, because technically, I guess it's really not a podcast. Technically, it's a vlog, a video log, but whatever. I think most of us call them knitting podcasts, and if you can't see what you're talking about, then I guess it's just not quite as well. We're all visual, right? And so that adds an extra layer. So anyway, the point of that is, if I get distracted, sorry. I am slightly ADD. Most of the time I try to work off of notes. I said that just a minute ago, and the reason I try to work off of notes is because I am ADD. But hey, we're going to fly by the seat of my pants today, and I hope you guys enjoy the ride because here we go. I have a few things that I want to share with you because it's been so long since I've done a podcast that I don't even remember what I was working on or what I had shown you. So, I'm not going to show you anything that I'm working on. I'm basically just going to go through some of the things that I have in the shop and just try to catch up the year with you. And that way in January, I can jump back in and maybe do another podcast after Christmas and then before the new year, and start the new year back doing at least monthly podcasts. That's my goal. And then that way, you guys can laugh at me more often. Not laugh at me because I'm funny, haha, I'm a comedian, but I'm just kind of a dork. So, one of the new things that I have in the shop is, the creative, with all knitters, crocheters, dyers, weavers, all of us are creative types, right? So, most of us are multi-artistic, multi-crafty, multi-whatever. And we tend to do more than one type of craft. So, of course, I had to throw in an extra couple things. I had a friend on Instagram turn me on to dollhouses because my 12-year-old she was 11 last year. She got a dollhouse for Christmas. And I don't mean like, a pre-built dollhouse. It was one of the wooden ones that you buy at a hobby store that every single piece has to be put together. Every single shingle, all those things. So I've been doing that with her this year. And it's been really fun, but we've gone down a definite rabbit trail. So there's an extra little thing that's been fun, but definitely a distraction. And then that has nothing to do with what's new in the shop. I told you I'm ADD. But I did start making handmade lotion bars. I guess if I started making them, then yes, they're handmade. But I wanted to include them in this year's that's the wrong word, Advent, in this year's Advent. And so I wanted peppermint and I couldn't find what I was looking for. And so I decided to make them. That's kind of the way it is with me. Everything that I usually decide or wind up making is because I couldn't find what I wanted. So I'm going to show you these. And these, I've sold out of the peppermint ones, and these are, I gotta look, see, I told you I'm ADD. They are a chocolate orange. It's a chocolate, orange chocolate smell and it's very light, but the reason that it smells kind of like chocolate is because of the cocoa butter. No, not cocoa butter. Yeah, the cocoa butter. There's just a few ingredients. Let's see if I can show this to you. That is, there you go. So they're about 2 ounces, and they come in these little cakes, and I put them in the tin so that it protects them. And I've got this on like some wax paper so that my hands don't melt it as we go. But there's just a few ingredients in there, and I did that because I have a kiddo with eczema. I have some eczema, psoriasis, whatever. They can't ever decide what it actually is. You go to one dermatologist and they tell you one thing, and a different dermatologist tells you something completely different. It's not allergies, but here's your round of steroids, your steroid shot, double up on your antihistamine, and whatever. So all of that to say that things that are perfumed bother me. They bother my son. So there you go. I just started making those, and they have everything is organic except for the beeswax. And I don't know if beeswax can or can't be organic, but it's definitely all natural. So organic coconut oil, organic shea butter, beeswax, organic jojoba, organic cocoa butter, and then just essential oil. So that one has orange essential oil. And the reason it smells like chocolate and orange, those orange chocolate oranges that you get at Christmas time, and you have to take them, they're in a ball, and you break it you smash it against the counter or whatever, and it breaks open into those orange slices. Well, that's what it smells like. It really does smell like that. So I'm going to give you one more little visual of that. I thought those molds came out really gorgeous with the little snowflakes there. And so there you go. Like I said, I'm all sold out of the peppermint ones that I put in the Advent. I did sell them separately, but they were popular. They sold out. So there is that. And then speaking of Advent, the Advent calendars are always something that's very fun for me. And I enjoy Christmas. Christmas is one of my absolute favorite holidays. I try to extend that with my family by doing some of the traditional things that we do, holding fast to those traditions so that they have those memories to look back on. Obviously, we have the same kinds of foods and that kind of thing. But also we do a fun thing that is a book Advent, where we put out 24 wrapped books on the first day of December. And we walk through opening one of those each evening. The kids take turns. Most of them are picture books. So the older kids and teenagers just kind of, they just get to sit and hang out for the ride, right? They're not really interested. But I mean, the picture books aren't that interesting to them. But the littler kids, the younger kids, they sure enjoy it. I forgot to turn that. There we go. Sorry. I forgot to turn that to, see, I'm totally ADD. I'm going to hang up. Okay, of course, I forgot to turn that on to Do Not Disturb. So that, I can't watch those notifications keep coming up. I did. I turned it on to Do Not Disturb, and I'm still getting banner notifications. Okay, I'll just do my best. So anyway, I was visiting with you about the Advent and how much I try to just make sure we have some just foundational traditions that we can rely on that don't cost a lot of money, or it's just really time. It's just time spent. So there you go. So the Advent calendars, I have sold all but 3. And I know this is mid-December, but some people don't start the Advent until Christmas Day and take it to Epiphany. And anyway, the point in that is everyone can use it differently. And some of you may just really have felt like you missed out on the Advent. You may not have known there were Advent calendars out there, or you might just want all the yarn. So all of that to say that I have just three. I have 3 advent calendars left. They are all individually wrapped, and I will show you. Maybe. I did sit it here. Oh, here it is. Yeah. They are all individually wrapped. This is the first skein in the that you get to open. They're all wrapped up so you can't see them, so that you can have a surprise if you want to. And then I did have a few of the yarn only advents, but I have sold out of those. I have one of the bags that come with the advent, and that is a bag that is by Southern Sparrow Handmade. There we go. Let's do it like that. And then inside, so there is, I called it a Christmas swag bag. So it's just the swag and none of the yarn. And you get the peppermint lotion bar, and it's all wrapped up in there. And then all the swag that came with. So there was a pine cone stitch marker by Knitty by Nature. There we go. See if that's, there we go. And then there was a Cool Notions bag by Random Fandom Bags. And I don't know if you've ever seen her stuff, but she is amazing. And so you can stick your little notions down in there, the clear window for you to be able to see. And my whole advent was themed around cardinals and buffalo check and pine cones, like that. And there we go. Oh, here we are. And here's another thing that came from Miss Pearl. And and I dropped it. Of course I did. Miss Pearl, she makes these tins, and they are just gorgeous. Let's see if you can see this. Tiny, tiny little stitch marker. Let's see if can I get that up there? It's a little heart. And inside of these little slide tins, she just stuck a little couple in there. And that is, there we go. Maybe you can see it now. That is plaid, that buffalo plaid turned on the diagonal. Is that not the cutest thing? And then also one more stitch marker by Random Fandom Bags. And that is a cardinal. Nope, let's see here. Can you see that guy? There, oh, there he is. See his little birdie face? Is that not the cutest? With the little jewel down there and his little feet. So there you go. That's just the cutest thing ever. I wanted those bags to be just adorable. The little cardinals on the bag have knitted scarves. The whole thing's embroidered. It's just gorgeous, and it's tough, and it's shawl sized. So I think I'm rambling now, but there is one Christmas swag bag left. The 3 advent calendars that I have left all come with all of this plus the yarn. And then I will have probably, this is Monday, probably by Tuesday, I will have out some mini mystery grab bags. So I have a few of the skeins, mini skeins from last year's advent. I have a couple of just odds and ends from this year as I was doing some colors. And anyway, I'm going to throw those together for you guys to have a mystery grab bag. They will be either 5 skeins of 20 grams each. And so each grab bag will be 100 grams, or there'll be 10 skeins of the micro minis, the 10 gram skeins. Okay, so normally my minis come like this, and this is one of 2 sets that I have left of pumpkin spice latte. And so those are all but gone for this year. And I just, when pumpkin spice stuff comes out, it's still hot here in Oklahoma. So I thought this is a way that I can enjoy pumpkin spice. I don't really love pumpkin spice coffee, although I do like some pumpkin spice tea, whatever, right? But anyway, so there's a couple of those left, but that's normally how my minis are presented, is they're wrapped up, and you might not know each colorway's name, but they usually are a theme. So these are just going to be grab bags, and they'll be fun. So I apologize for saying so all the time. It's kind of one of those placeholders that it helps me remember where I'm at, where I'm going. If you can see behind me, oh, you gotta love the mirror effect of the camera. Right there, right there. That is the minis that I have left over. So there are a couple still in the shop that are, oh, there's a couple from fall left over. You can see the fall colors, but I do still have a couple of Christmas ones. And the reason that I bring that up, it segued perfectly from the Advents, was I had a customer contact me, Ellie, and such a sweet, sweet person. And she said, hey, would you mind doing some Hanukkah minis? I said, absolutely. So of course, Hanukkah being the festival of lights, we brainstormed and I had her come up with like a mood board so that I wouldn't interpret anything incorrectly. And because I'm not Jewish, I don't know all of the customs and all the meanings behind that. But she helped me out, and the colors, I just have to say, are gorgeous. And here you go. I have 2 of these left, maybe just one, because I'm really, really debating just snagging this one for myself. And you still have time to get it in time for Hanukkah, because that's, I think, next week. I'm going to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's still next week. So here you go. This is called Festival of Lights. Let's see if I can get that down there. And look at that sparkle. I mean, sparkle yarn was what it needed to be on. And that sparkle, my black turtleneck really is making a great backdrop here. That sparkle is freaking amazing. This is the dark royal navy, and then there's a gold there, a silver. You can't hardly see it on the cream in the camera, but there you go. Let me hide behind it. And then this lovely one here. I am really, really thrilled with these. So they're almost sold out. There's just 2 left. This one and one more back there. I really shouldn't just keep stacking things aside for myself. But hey, I dyed it, right? So either you can look at it 2 ways. I can dye it again, so what's my problem? Just sell it. And the other is, oh, but I dyed it, I want it. Okay, I'm moving on. Then I have, I think 2, this may be the Lone Ranger. This may be the Lone Gingerbread Man all by itself. So there you go. And again, I'm contemplating keeping this guy because I saw one of my customers had done, I'm going to show you this first. This is peppermint mocha. And so she had made socks by, and these are an Advent pattern by Natalie Sheldon. I just knew I was going to do Natalie wrong, the wrong name. So Natalie Sheldon does Remembrances pottery. So she does a lot of the knitting mugs. If you've ever seen those, I have one and I love it. But you probably would have to have watched the podcast from back the early days, because I cannot chew gum or drink tea and talk at the same time. So I gave up long ago when I knocked my cup over and spilled it, and I gave up. I thought, I can't do this. But one of my customers did Natalie's Advent socks with this, and they are amazing. If you go to my Instagram, it's BigFoot Fibers, at BigFoot Fibers on Instagram, and you can see that pattern, what she did with that peppermint mocha colorway. I do have a couple of those left, but here is Natalie's pattern. It is a free download, and there you go. And so you basically, what she has done is you can start and knit one color a day, one color work section a day, and you can start anytime. You can start now, you can start on the 25th, you can cast them on as Christmas socks, but I think they're gorgeous. So if you go to my Instagram, you can look at, I reposted my customer's picture of those done in this. So I'm thinking, that's a lot of colors. Why not? I mean, why not? How fun would that be? So I'm half begging you to just buy them, and then I don't have to, I don't have to worry about it, because if you know me, you know, A, I knit very slowly, because B, I have way too many irons in the fire, and honestly, I thought that becoming a dyer, it would give me an excuse to knit more, but honestly, it gets in the way of knitting because I'm always dyeing, so I never have time. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm begging you to buy them so I don't have to cast them on, or if I'm begging you not to buy them so that I can cast them on. I don't know. But there are a couple of those over there, so you could do your own. It does not take three sets of minis. It takes, let's see here, 370 yards of fingering weight or sock weight, which is basically the same. Sock weight is generally a tighter twist. But you could use DK, she says, or sport weight. It's just going to make a bigger sock. So, but I am a loose woman. I can say that because I have 8 children. Yes, 8. You heard that right. Don't fall off your chair or spit out your tea, but, or coffee. But I can legitimately say I am a loose woman because I really do have to go down. I knit socks on a 0. And probably my heels need to be on a 00, just so I can get those, fill up those holes when I pick up those stitches. I've learned a few tricks because otherwise they're just large. I just knit a little too largely. It's not, I don't know, I have freakishly tight cast-ons and freakishly loose knitting. I have to make sure that I'm on high sharps for socks, and they just have to be teeny tiny needles. So I don't knit very fast. I don't make a whole lot of progress. Unlike the crazy sock lady whom I love, I just, she makes so much, I just get jealous of how fast she whips out those socks. And she's got some great patterns too. Okay. Now you see my true ugliness in my heart. Everybody else has all this time to knit while poor little Sheila over here is just stuck dyeing yarn away. But the fun thing about dyeing is I get to do what I want to do. So don't feel too sorry for me. Let me show you another combination that my friend Janice is doing. She and her group of friends in Pennsylvania are knitting, oh, I wrote it down. It was the, this is why I make notes. It's the New Year Cow 2020 or something like that. And it's they're knitting fiber, oh golly gee, I just looked it up. It is Casapinka's pattern, and it's fibrosity, that's wrong, fiber, I'm gonna just post it afterwards, and then that way you'll know, because, yeah, I'm an angel. I'm an angel of kindness is what my children say, and then they preface that by saying most of the time. Okay, here's Janice's choices. Now, Janice, I'm gonna be really embarrassed if this, when I looked at it, it looked like these were the colors, and I'm just gonna say they are, and go for it because it looked like it. So this is a 3-color shawl set, and then Janice threw one more color in there. And this is on, let me get my fingers out of the way. It's on Divine Sock. This little guy is dark, and this little guy is stormy, and this little guy is dark and stormy. And I have those in the shop. This is the only set left, and they're a 3-color set. So you can see that those go together really, really well. And you get kind of that fade thing going on. And then she threw in, I dropped it, candied apples. So look how fabulous that is. Let me just stack those for you. There you go. Aren't those gorgeous? So that would make a great 4-color shawl set. And candied apples is on Awesomest Sock, which is 75.25, and then these 3 are on Divine Sock, which are 85.15. So they're going to play together nicely, and they're going to give you a great drape for a shawl. Okay, let's see. That's my kiddos hollering and yelling in the background. I just dropped another one. We're moving on anyway. I want to get this out of here before the evening happens. I have to make dinner and all the kids' activities happen. I have 2 in Civil Air Patrol, and their Christmas party is tonight, so that's always fun stuff. At least we're prepared. Okay, I'm actually going to move these down so that they're not in the way. This is another color shawl set that I accidentally threw together as I was just going through and doing inventory, and these happened to land together. I actually was trying to get a colorway, and I wound up with too much brown in this. And so it's actually one of a kind, but I'm going to recreate it. I have not named it, but I think these 3 go together perfectly. These are all on Divine Sock. This is Grumpy Old Troll. And if you can see, it is lightly speckled in there. They're just really dark, and there's some brown. So Grumpy Old Troll, yes, we quote movies at our house all the time. So if you've ever seen Brave, you may have heard them say, at least we don't hide under bridges, you grumpy old troll. And then I can't do a Scottish accent either. And then this guy, you can see he's got some blue. Is that showing up? There we go. There's some flecks of blue in those speckles. And I don't know how I did that, but I took notes, so here we go. And then this guy is Telius Teal. So look at that together. Again, I'm kind of begging you to buy it, so I don't have the excuse to not cast it on. I probably have 10 whips going right now, which is another reason why I did not show those to you, because it's a little discouraging, quite honestly. Okay, and then this shawl set, I have 1 left of. This is another 3 color set. These are all on Super Silky Sheep Sock, and those are 75% superwashed extra fine merino. That's 19 micron and 25% silk. They are loverly, just absolutely loverly. This is I Am the Night. This is Miss T. And this is When You Wish Upon a Star. So there is When You Wish Upon a Star. Got some light speckling in there. There is Miss T. Miss T has some speckling going on in there. And I Am the Night. And I Am the Night actually does have some speckles. You just, again, it's so dark, it's hard to see them. So you're going to get a lovely variegated and speckled effect going on with those 3. And I mean, if you needed a 4th color, you could always throw in candied apples. Again, it's kind of my favorite right now, and I have I have 6 of those left. So we're getting down to the end of the wire at the end of the year. And of course, as you know, everybody understands that at the end of the year, you have to pay taxes on your inventory. So of course I want to get rid of it, but I also want to cast it on. So basically what I'm showing you today are this is the last of this set of 3, or this is the last of this set. And please buy it so I don't have to cast it on, because I really want to. I just want to sit and knit. I have presents to wrap. I have cookies to bake, and I just really want to sit and knit. It's cold today. It is, my watch says it's about 30 degrees outside, and we have had some spitty snow, sleet earlier this morning. The roads are still fine. If you have ever been in Oklahoma, you know that Oklahoma does not invest in heavy road machinery to do like any kind of clearing, truck clearing, or we have some trucks that spray sand and like ice, salt, and what's the stuff that makes the ice not stick to the road? I forget what that's called. But other than that, if it snows 3 inches, we are stuck in our neighborhoods because they don't come clear the roads in the neighborhoods. They just do the main arteries. Anyway, because we don't get it very much, right? They just don't invest in it. So none of the cities ever have the equipment to do that. Okay, that's my excuse for wanting to just sit with a cozy cup of something and knit and put my feet up and just let the kids watch Christmas movies. We watched Home Alone 3 last night. So there you go. We're making our way through our list of Christmas movies. Okay, here are my last 2 combinations. These are the last of their kind, and I probably will get more of this in the beginning of the new year. I am preparing right now for Knitting in the Heartland, and that is in April in Kansas City. They have a great show. I have a double booth. It's going to be fun. But right now everything is kind of prepping for that. So I'll be dyeing stuff and setting it aside. So it probably will be a third of things go in the shop and 2/3 of everything that I dye goes into storage tubs as I'm spitting into the camera. Storage tubs as I'm preparing for that show. Preparing for a show and having an online store at the same time is a little bit of a tightrope walk. It just is. And we are in our 3rd year of business, where our 3rd birthday is coming up in February, but we've been in that'll be our 3rd full year, I guess you could say. And so it's not a balance I've worked out completely yet. Okay, so here we go. I have 2 of these guys left. This is Brilliantly Silky BigFoot, and they are 55%, let me get my hand out of the way, 55% superwash BFL, which is blue-faced Leicester, not Leicester, it's not Worcestershire sauce, Leicester. I do not have a good handle on a British accent or pronunciation either, so you just have to bear with me. I say BFL because it's easier, but most people ask me, what is BFL? Well, BFL is, again, blue-faced Leicester, and it is simply a breed of sheep. So merino is what you hear about all the time. It's what most people like to knit with because it's so soft, but it has a very short staple length, which means that the hairs are short. They're curly, but they're short, kind of like mine. Can't get this mess out of my way. The microns of merino tend to be small, and that's one of the reasons why they are soft. BFL has a few unique properties that I'm just going to sing the praises of here for a moment. BFL has a longer staple. It is nearly as small in diameter, and it has a lovely slight halo. But I mentioned the staple is a little bit longer, but what you're trading is a slight amount of softness. It's still next to the skin soft, but you're trading that for sturdiness and durability. If you were to knit socks out of 100% BFL, you would not need nylon. It's just that sturdy. So I can't hardly sing its praises enough. And then when you add that in, when you blend that in with a little bit of silk, this is 45% silk and 55% BFL, you have something truly amazing. If you're a shawl knitter, the shine on those is, I washed it out, sorry. The shine on those is amazing. It's kind of a fine balancing act too with the light. I don't know if you can see it from there, but the silk will drape. It will not spring back, so it will give a lovely drape and shine. The BFL, on the other hand, even though it's superwash, does have more spring. I honestly prefer non-superwashed yarns, again, because I'm a loose knitter. So I need my garments to have that spring back, because anything you do with superwash is going to grow. It's going to stretch out. Well, in a shawl, that's fine, because that's what you want. You want all those lace panels to lay open and for you to be able to see those. If you were to knit in a non-superwash lace weight or fingering weight shawl, it would just boing, kind of crumple back up. And that's not what you want. You want to be able to show off all those stitches that you went through. Okay, now I'm sorry, there's the technique tip. But look at these guys together here. Oh, I want to knit a 4-color shawl in 2 colors because I'm a rebel in these guys. Now, they're not the same. They are the same weight, but they're not the same base. Again, 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. Excuse me, pardon me. And of course I chugged a big cup of coffee before I did this. And then again, this guy is BFL and silk, because it's, I have to look at it. It's 55 BFL and 45 silk, you're going to get a similar drape because of the nylon in this one and the silk in this one. So this nylon doesn't have any bounce back either. It doesn't have any, it doesn't really give or stretch. I mean, it doesn't really, back that up, rewind. Nylon does not have that flex. I guess somebody just popped in. So all of that to say that the drape of those are going to be the same. And wouldn't that be gorgeous? Okay. Again, I'm just going to say, please just take them off my hands. And then that way I can move on. Because I want to knit them. And here we go. This has been crazy hair. It's windy outside. This has been one long infomercial, and I apologize. But this is kind of where we're at. In the background here, you can see my beekeeper. And then right here, that is Hohi's right? I had it right before I started to say it. It's the 5 color. I'll have to post it. And then this one was by, again, I'll post it. They're back there, they're hanging out. And then that sweater right there is called Summer. And I think that one is by Isabel Kramer, but I'm going to have that wrong. No, Anka Strick. It's Anka Strick. I'm pretty positive that that's what that is. That's what you get when you try to pick my brain, is a lot of, I have a lot of tabs open. That's all I can say. Not very much short-term memory space going on there. Okay, I have a girlfriend who's started a sweater that was supposed to be one skein of mohair lace, and in fact, it may have been just mohair and silk. But I dyed these guys together. They're not quite coming across. This looks a lot more pink in this light. Let's see if I can adjust it a little bit. That's a little better. Maybe not. Let's try it again. Nope. Nope. Well, either way, it's not coming quite across on the camera, but like I said, I'm still playing with this light. It actually is just a lighter shade of this. This is Awesome Sock, and it's called Delightful, and this is called Delight. This is lace weight silk and mohair, so it's kid mohair, 70% kid mohair and 30% silk, and 459 yards. And this is 460 yards held together. I really want to make, I don't know, a hat, a cowl, a something, I don't know. But again, it's not a very good way to run a business if you dye all the things and then keep all the things. That's really not good. Really, what technically needs to happen is a dyer needs to dye all the things and sell all the things, because that's the way a business works, right? And that's the way a business stays afloat. It doesn't work very well if the business owner is constantly swiping the goods. But anyway, there you go. That's my conundrum. They tell you to do what you love and then you'll never work a day in your life. But that's not true. I honestly, I started dyeing to kind of support my yarn habit, and because there were certain things I wanted that I couldn't get. I wanted this color on this base, and only these colors were available on the base I wanted, and not. So I out of kind of frustration, and also because, you know, I can't knit all the things. So I thought I will dye the things that I like, and then I can sell the extra. But 3 years later, I'm still kind of struggling with that. And I have successfully pared my stash down. It is now into 2 kind of half tubs. And the reason it's in there is that it's not shoved in, packed down. Basically, it would be in 1 tub. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good. And then the other, but see, that's really not honest. It's only partly honest. The other are the things that I have set aside as samples. And that too, honestly, is stash. And I'm just lying to myself and saying it's a sample. So there you go. That's about all I have. And other than the promise to come back and do some more regular podcast vlogging so that I am not just popping in and out 3 times a year. This has been a very busy year, and I'm making my goals for 2020 and making sure that I have a little more time to podcast and sit and visit, because honestly, it's the relationships that keep me going. It's the relationships that I enjoy. That's what's kept me in the business for 3 years, because, you know, it has its ups and downs. And there you go. I've enjoyed so much meeting the people that I've met, meeting you and visiting with you via email or Instagram message. And there you go. I hope that left you with warm fuzzies, because it does me. Okay. I'm just running on now. Now I really just need to wrap it up and say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm hoping to go ahead and do another one between now and then, and definitely in January. So I'll see you again soon. All right, those were the Advent Socks by Natalie Sheldon, and that's a free download. And then the Fabulosity Shawl by Casapinka, and those friends that are doing it, that is the New Year Cal 2020. And then modeled behind me by my dummies was the Beekeeper sweater or cardigan by Marie Green, and the Gradient Band Cowl by Hohi, and the Summer Sweater Pattern by Anka Strick, and Mellow Sun Shawl by Isabel Kramer. All right, here's the Advent Socks pattern by Natalie Sheldon, knit up in the Divine Sock mini set Peppermint Mocha. Wasn't that a gorgeous bunch of sock knitting right there? Then this is the Cardinal stitch marker progress keeper that I tried to show up close. This is a much better picture. This is just another shot of the bags. And then also included in that bag / Advent set, if you just got the bag, these little tins by Miss Pearl. Those had the cute little stitch markers in them. And then this is just another shot of the handmade lotion bars. And me packing up all the Advent. Another shot of the bag by Southern Sparrow Handmade. And then last but not least, my friend and I, Miss Janice. She drove me all over Philadelphia. The puppies. There we are. Merry Christmas, guys.